David Chipman, the nominee for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Let's learn more about this gentleman.
I am a gun owner, and I served on the front lines of our government's efforts to prevent violent crime.
David Chipman is committed to public safety in America. He's well respected in ATF.
He is committed to the safety of our children, of our families, of our communities.
He has great leadership skills. He wants to see things get better.
I'm proud to nominate David Chipman. He's the right person at this moment for this important agency.
I am a gun owner.
I wonder what that's all about. Maybe we'll find out. So apparently he was nominated for ATF, and he's being he's before the Senate answering some questions. Let's see how some of the responses are, because let's get to the brass tacks here. This guy's trying to take away your assault weapons. He's a snake, a complete and utter snake. What do you expect? God, man, what an awful frown. He's got a permanent face all the time. I feel bad for him. And I'm allowed to say that because I'm ugly too.
ATF director.
I got 35 seconds left. Define it for me, would you please, sir? What's an assault weapon?
Yeah, Senator, the bill to ban assault weapons is
what is your
dozens of
definition of
pages.
an
There's
assault
no way I could define an assault weapon.
You don't have any. You're going to run this agency, and you don't have a definition of assault weapon.
But I would be enforcing the definition that members of Congress.
We don't care. He's all like, he's refusing to answer the question, because the question was, what is an assault weapon? And this guy's saying, well, whatever you guys tell me it is. And it's like, no, I'm not asking you for you to tell me what I tell you. I want you to tell me what's inside your head right now. Like if you're trapped, like if you were a king of a country, a dictator, and you could do everything at the stroke of a pen or wand or whatever, what would you want to do? Well, how would you define assault weapon? And this jerk would say something like, whatever the Senate defines an assault weapon.
I'm going to be issuing rules and regulations. Just give me your definition.
I'll give you one definition that ATF.
Give me your definition.
Uses. One definition that ATF currently.
Give me your definition.
I can give you one definition.
If you want to answer my question, how can I vote for you? I'm done, Mr. Chairman. I don't think I'm going to get an answer.
ATF director.
Yeah, he wanted your definition. Yeah, the guy. Most of these people are very legalistic, and they chose their wording very carefully. He doesn't want the ATF definition. He wants your definition, because he wants to know what you're going to enforce later once you're in charge. Of course, you're not going to get an answer. And yeah, he's going to ban your AR-15, by the way.
Senator, the White House asked you if any of your views on guns are out of step with the majority of the American people. The AR-15 is one of, if not the most popular rifle in America. It's not a machine gun. It's a rifle. Your public position is that you want to ban AR-15s. Is that correct?
Senator, thank you for the question, and thank you for our visit yesterday and offering me a Dr. Pepper. It made me reminisce about Central Texas. But now to your question. With respect to the AR-15, I support a ban as has been presented in a Senate bill and supported by the President. The AR-15 is a gun I was issued on ATF's SWAT team, and it's a particularly lethal weapon and regular.
Really? Were you issued the full auto one that civilians are allowed to use, the weapon of war version?
Regulating it as other particularly lethal weapons, I have advocated for. As ATF director, if I'm confirmed, I would simply enforce the laws on the books, and right now there is no such ban on those guns.
So you want to ban the most popular rifle in America.
Wants the
most popular rifle, but you want to actively have government go after the
bill. Did not address those firearms that are currently in the possession of Americans.
Rifles and other firearms in her bill is one of, if not the most popular rifle in America.
AR-15, I support a ban as has been presented in a Senate bill and supported by the President.
Senator Feinstein had a bill to ban some 2,000 specified rifles and other firearms in her bill, which a supermajority of senators voted against in a Democratic Senate. You said that bill didn't go far enough and you wanted an even broader ban to ban. You said it didn't go far enough. Is that right?
Senator, thanks for that question and the ability to clarify. What I did say is that Senator Feinstein's bill did not address those firearms that are currently in the possession of Americans.
You mean that you don't just want to ban the manufacturer of those rifles, you don't just want to make it illegal to sell those rifles, but you want to actively have government go after the people who currently possess firearms, and if they don't register and submit to all of the onerous restrictions of the National Firearms Act, presumably confiscate their weapons?
Senator, what I've said publicly is that as an advocate, I prefer a system where the AR-15 and other assault weapons are regulated under the National Firearms Act.
Yeah, there you go. AR-15 is a machine gun, according to these people.
There are not criminal consequences. I want to turn to a second matter now, Mr. Chipman. You have called for an assault weapons ban. I have a simple question for you. What is an assault weapon?
Senator, an assault weapon would be, in the context of the question you asked, what Congress defines it as.
So you're asking us to ban assault weapons. We have to write legislation. Can you tell me what is an assault weapon? How would you define it if you were the head of the ATF? How have you defined it over the last several years as your role as a gun control advocate?
Senator, if I'm confirmed as ATF director, my recollection is the only process by which ATF has weighed in is that I know there's a Demand Letter 3 program, which requires multiple reports, multiple sale reports on the southwestern border. And ATF in that program has defined an assault rifle as any semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah, but no, we're talking about assault weapon, okay? That's not the same thing. We're not talking about the government has defined shit. So stop trying to say, so hey, what's your favorite color? Mr. Smith, what's your favorite color? And Mr. Smith responds, my son's favorite color is blue. Like, we didn't ask your son's favorite color. We asked for yours.
Capable of accepting a detachable magazine above the caliber of .22, which would include a .223, which is, largely the AR-15 round.
So you believe that every weapon that takes a detachable magazine that can take a .22 round or 5.56 in military parlance should be defined as an assault weapon?
Let me clarify. What I believe I just said is any semi-automatic rifle.
Because right there he's making an exemption for hunting rifles. Bolt-action rifles are clearly higher than like I have a 300 Win Mag like sitting behind me right now, and it's got a detachable magazine and holds three rounds, 300 Win Mag, whatever, but it's a bolt-action, not a semi-automatic. So this guy's not trying to regulate that specific rifle. But I don't want him to regulate any rifle.
Okay, any semi-automatic rifle.
What?
That's the definition. A detachable magazine that takes a 5.56 or .22 round should be defined as an assault weapon.
Senator, you asked me if ATF had used this term, and I was sharing with you my knowledge of a program in which ATF.
We don't care.
And it
answer his fucking question. Stop being a weasel.
Program, and that rifle is a semi-automatic rifle capable of accepting a detachable magazine with a round greater than a .22 caliber. And in those cases, firearms dealers on the southwest border are required to make a multiple sale report to ATF.
I'm amazed that might be the definition of assault weapon. That would basically cover every single modern sporting rifle in America today. Let me put it this way. If I wanted to buy an assault weapon, and I walked into Walmart or Cabela's or some other firearm dealers, and I looked up on the wall where they were labeling their weapons, would there be a label on the wall for assault weapon?
I don't believe, Senator, and thank you for this question, that the firearms industry has used the term assault rifle in their marketing.
He said assault
since
weapon.
There was a ban on it. It was after that they changed their use of the term assault rifle to the modern sporting rifle.
Well, so I've been in Walmarts and I've been in Cabela's, and I've seen that you can find sections for pistols or handguns or for shotguns or for rifles, because those are actual kinds of firearms. I think our exchange here illustrates that there really is no such thing as an assault weapon. That is a term that was manufactured by liberal lawyers and pollsters in Washington.
I'll say, isn't an assault weapon kind of redundant? A weapon is made for assaulting.
Believing that the government should confiscate weapons that are wildly popular for millions of Americans to defend themselves and their families and their homes.
They don't want Kyle Rittenhouses around the world, around the country, defending themselves. That's what they're against.
Violent crime.
So Chipman is pro. What's that movie where they predicted crimes before they happened? Minority Report, which is a racist name for a movie, by the way, about crime. Talking about minorities. Let's see the video clip.
A law-abiding gun owner a threat to public safety, in your view?
Thank you for that question, Senator. If the term law-abiding means someone has lawfully possessed a gun, there are often occasions that that person then goes on to commit a violent crime. If you're just saying characterize the majority of gun owners, the majority of gun owners are law-abiding.
What's the role of the ATF? Is a law-abiding gun owner a threat to public safety, in your view?
No, obviously not. Someone who's following the laws is not a threat to safety. The people who are a threat to safety are criminals. And so, criminals... That's the thing, though. Criminals a lot of times have histories. Criminals sometimes are possessing the gun illegally. But there is a certain point, a certain stage where somebody... I don't know. I don't think you see that many gun owners who are legal gun owners actually go on to commit crimes. It does happen, though. But no, you don't have a Minority Report style answer. And Tucker Carlson's got a little wrap up here.
That you have, you can still sort of see what the other side is talking against lawsuits. That's also a lie. Gun manufacturers get sued all the time. Ask them, etc. So it was a speech aimed to mislead rather than to inform. Before he announced how he plans to restrict your Second Amendment rights, Joe Biden wanted to remind you that those rights are not real in the first place. They are not, as he put it, absolute.
Nothing I'm about to recommend in any way impinges on the Second Amendment. They're phony arguments suggesting that these are Second Amendment rights at stake for what we're talking about. But no amendment to the Constitution is absolute.
You heard the sirens in the background responding to the skyrocketing crime rate in the city he presides over.
Wrecked. No, but, well, if it went to the Supreme Court and they ruled it unconstitutional, obviously, well, then you'd be wrong there, Biden. Let's go on a little bit further.
Homicides fell in almost every major city. So policies like this one are unhinged from reality, to put it gently. So to enforce them, Joe Biden has nominated a man who is unhinged from reality. His name is David Chipman, and he will now run the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, an agency that Joe Biden referred to today as the AFT.
Today, I'm proud to nominate David Chipman to serve as the director of the AFT. David knows the AFT well.
David knows AFT well. Hilarious. If you're Joe Biden, everything is a teachers union. AFT is a teachers union. So who is David Chipman? Well, he's a conspiracy nut, for one thing. In a recent internet post on Reddit, he claimed that the Branch Davidians shot down helicopters during the Waco siege in 1993. No, they didn't. No one aboard a federal helicopter was shot or injured that day.
Yeah.
The helicopters didn't crash. That is a bizarre claim to make from someone who was directly involved in the case, as David Chipman was. But it's worse than that. In 1993, the ATF killed dozens of innocent children and at least one pregnant woman for no obvious reason. It's one of the worst things that federal agents have ever done in this country. So if you're taking over the ATF, maybe you could apologize for that. But no. David Chipman lied about it and then attacked the dead. It was like blaming the Japanese for their own internment or attacking the victims of the Tuskegee experiment for getting syphilis. It was not evidence of a generous spirit. It was evidence of a zealot. This is the man Joe Biden just nominated to lead.
It reminds me of how the ATF posted on, like, remembering Waco. They're like, these poor officers died that day. And everyone else is like, what about the families who burned alive? But whatever. Whatever.